A father and son were flying kites. As the son was releasing the thread higher and higher, the kite was going up into the sky, and the son was really enjoying. Then, when the kite reached a certain distance, the son turned to the father and said, "My dear father, I see that in spite of releasing the thread to the highest maximum point, the kite is not going beyond a certain limit. Looks like it is being limited by this thread. So I want to really see my kite fly higher and higher and higher without limit. And therefore, I have an idea. I'll take a knife and cut the thread, because the thread seems to be limiting the movement of the kite. What do you say?" The father said, "I do not recommend it, son, but ultimately I leave it to you to decide." The son thought he is wiser than the father, took a knife, cut the thread, and as soon as the thread was cut off, for some time it appeared that the kite was flying higher and higher and higher. But then after a few moments, the movement of the wind and gravity combined made the kite tumble down towards the ground. And within moments, that same glorious kite which was flying high in the sky, it was a symbol of great victory, an ornament for the son to see that kite fly. It crashed right near his feet. He turned to his father and said, "Father, how is it that when we released the kite from being bound by the thread, it is supposed to have gone up higher, but it has crashed down?" Father said, "My dear son, that thread which was actually tying the kite to us, it was helping the kite fly higher. It was keeping the kite under control. It was helping the kite fly higher against the movement of the wind, because ultimately this thread was not just binding the kite. This thread was the foundation, the basis, the means by which the kite could actually rise. And therefore, what you really did was you cut off the very foundation based on which the kite was flying. And when the thread is cut, the foundation is gone, the kite fell down." All of us feel that rules, regulations, discipline, values, integrity, these are useless things. And sometimes we feel they are very restricting. These rules and regulations are not allowing me to fly higher and higher. And we may think, let me cut off all of these values and rules so that I can fly higher. Yes, for some time being cut off, the kite flies a little higher, but then ultimately crashes down. If the kite has to keep flying steadily, it needs that connection to the rope. If each one of us have to keep rising steadily in our life, in our career, in our family, in our relationships, it's only possible when we are bound by certain values, principles, discipline. And therefore, it is extremely important for us to have this kind of principle-based life. एक दिन उद्योग ऐच्छे महोत्सव कोइला, गोपाल प्रभावे होए अन्य न जानिला. It is described that simply by the power and influence of Lord Gopal, in one moment, the entire festival got organized in Vrindavan under the guidance of Sripad Madhavendra Puri. Therefore, the influence of such powerful flow of grace is inconceivable. But such grace follows the following of disciplined practice. And that's the crux of how discipline helps us rise and wanton living makes us fall.